Thank you for inviting me for this webinar. Franco had sent a message and I took some time to respond to him. I deeply apologize, Mr. Franco, for not responding immediately. Um, this is a very important topic and it's also a very important time. Now, and we need to look at these issues as dispassionately as we can, but given the overall environment, I think it is also difficult to look at it dispassionately. Let me break up that issue into 2 or 3 bits. Since Krupakaran started with the ordinance, and I had not prepared myself to deal with the ordinance related issue, but that's a very current issue. So let me make 2 or 3 comments about that and move on to the crux of the cooperative structure and what we could do. Certainly, it is a concern, not only as far as cooperatives are concerned, but in general, that there are 2 elements that are happening, and we need to be very conscious of this. One is there is more and more centralization, and therefore there is in the larger ecosystem, the federalism itself is being challenged. In fact, if you go back and look at the entire architecture of GST, and particularly in the context of this pandemic, you suddenly find that the state governments are unable to raise their own resources, and ultimately everything has gone back and vested in the center. The states have only a little bit of voting right, and the GST Council only decides what the states could do, except for liquor, petrol, fuel, registration, property taxes, etc. So, in general, we are centralizing. That's the larger mood. Second, even more dangerous is this entire paralyzing of the parliament and having the ordinances sort of in great urgency being implemented, particularly when courts are not particularly functioning. We can't go get a stay order, and litigation is a problem. Parliament and debates is a problem. So the issue is not whether RBI should regulate or not. I think that's a separate debate, and we can have it. But the issue is that how do we get RBI to regulate, and is it the ordinance, and what is the hurry, and why is it that we don't have an adequate debate on the merits and demerits of Reserve Bank of India coming and regulating? That's a question that we need to ask. Now, let's look at this. I'll break up this entire bit into 2 bits, the rural part and the urban part, because these 2 are completely different animals. And let's look at the rural cooperative structure first, and then come back to the urban cooperative structure. And then I'll also deal with the ordinance from the perspective of private sector versus public sector versus cooperative sector. So these 3 I will deal with. Now, what we look at when we look at the rural cooperative credit structure, and I was a part of the Vaidyanathan committee. I also chaired the committee on the Kerala Cooperative Bank. So I've been a member of both these issues. One was about delayering, other was about a reform financial package to the cooperative sector. In fact, in the obviously, it's quite disappointing that the Vaidyanathan package was not completely implemented in its spirit. But the whole idea of the Vaidyanathan package was to try and see that all the cooperatives, particularly in the primary level, that are alive and vibrant, should continue, and those who are potentially vibrant should be supported and should be revived. The idea is, the approach in this is always to look at what do we do with the existing systems and existing institutions. And in the context of microfinance institutions, and in the context of small finance banks, and in the context of the policy pushing mainstream banks to get into rural areas and agriculture, etc., and in the context of the finance minister announcing will be 10,000 FPOs, etc., in these 2 contexts, if we look at it, we seem to be constantly reinventing the wheel and saying, oh, the past did not work, let's introduce a new toy into the system. while we are not actually looking at what the old system is doing and is it possible at a much lesser cost to the exchequer policy cost to ensure that the existing systems can move forward. I mean, so that's something that we have love for new institutions and new this thing, but whatever is existing, we are not looking at that. Our policy attention is not being paid to what is there. RRBs, cooperative societies, a whole range of this thing. And of course, there is a great amount of romanticism with microfinance institutions, small finance banks. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it doesn't mean that new institutions should not come, but what are we doing to the competitiveness of the old institution? That was done. So the Vaidyanathan package was trying to increase that competitiveness and give adequate autonomy to cooperatives to carry on with their work. Now, I was in a recent nowadays everything is webinar. So I was in a recent webinar where the chairman of NABARD participated in the webinar, and I was very the new chairman, Mr. Chintala, and I was very happy when he mentioned cooperatives. Suo moto, he said we are looking at the cooperative system, and he said that there are 55,000 packs, out of which 35,000 are active and very vibrant, and we would like to work with them very actively. I mean, to hear that from a NABARD chairman after a long time, because NABARD only talks about SHGs these days and watersheds and things like that. I have not heard a NABARD chairman in a very, very long time. So it was very heartening to learn. And basically, in the rural cooperative credit structure, if we are able to work with these packs, we have already 30,000-40,000 FPOs. What you call as FPOs were actually packs with multi-purpose activities. So that's something that we need to look at. So it's interesting that the current NABARD chairman says that he's interested in that. We hope that what he indicates, he will carry it through. In terms of DCCBs and the upper tier, in the Kerala experiment, we said, let's delayer the structure. And let me explain why we went ahead with delayering the structure. I know when I interacted with a lot of people, including the unions, there was a lot of opposition for this delayering process. So therefore, let me just take a few minutes to explain. In the delayering process, we did not envisage job losses. I mean, obviously, no government ever implements the report. Okay, I need to increase my volume. I'll speak a little louder. So no government implements the report in its totality. So therefore, we only write the report, and at the end of it, we are mute spectators as you are. But the idea was that if we delayer, then we are not spending too much on multiple packages. In Kerala, all the DCCBs were on different versions of Finacle, the State Cooperative Bank. So with the technology, it is not necessary for us to have three layers. In fact, world over, if you look at the cooperative system, whether it's Raiffeisen, Rabo, Desjardins, they all have chopped off one layer and made it a two-tier structure. So there is merit in making the two-tier structure. But what did we suggest with the two-tier structure? Because the two-tier structure in itself is not a solution. The two-tier structure is a solution for efficient and effective delivery of services for the members. But there is something else that needs to be done, and I don't think the Kerala government is doing that. What we had suggested, and that takes care of the issue that Mr. Krupakaran mentioned about federalism and so on. In the report, we had suggested that while we are doing a whole range of this technology-based centralization of the cooperative structure by delayering DCCBs and putting it and having an integrated single bank, we said we need to have a very strong supervisory and audit mechanism which is running parallelly at the state level. So the report had suggested a state level financial regulatory and development authority, which basically replaces the job of RBI. And it's completely done because you know what the local situation is and so on. So the idea was all state financial institutions, whether it is state funds or any of these things, should be done or regulated by a state financial regulatory authority and need not be this thing. Only banks and whatever is under the federal government should be transferred to Reserve Bank of India, and whatever is broadly under the state laws, in order to avoid this duality of control, the state should set up this thing. And by the way, this suggestion was not ours. It came to us in our interaction with Dr. Y.V. Reddy, who was the governor of Reserve Bank of India. I mean, he was the one who gave this input and we put it into the report. I mean, I think that might be a good route for us to, lobby and argue, etc., so that the cooperative structure, etc., and all the banking which is within the state, which is not multi-state and which is not under the federal government, is with the state government. Because please remember, half the time the problems in the cooperative sector is capital adequacy, Basel norms, NPA related stuff. But most of the time it is law and order, it is IPC, it is fraud, it is a whole range of things where the local authorities can respond much faster than the central authority. I mean, when you say, why did RBI not intervene in PNC Bank or any of these things? One of the reasons why it might not have intervened is that there are 1,500 urban cooperative banks, and the bandwidth of RBI for having such retail supervisory mechanism, particularly with its inspectors going all over the place, it might not have occurred, or it might not have got escalated soon enough. That doesn't abdicate RBI of its responsibility, but we need to understand that regulating a major public sector bank through its systems, procedures, and its second is on the urban cooperative banks. I'll just 2 minutes talk about it and I'll wrap up. I mean, I keep telling that a cooperative bank is an oxymoron. I mean, a bank cannot be a cooperative, or a cooperative cannot be a bank, because the moment you say a bank is open to public and a cooperative is member based, right? So when we're talking of cooperative bank, world over, when you see, cooperative banks are at the pinnacle of cooperative societies, right? And therefore, when you talk of cooperative bank, it's a bank of the cooperatives and not a cooperative bank. I mean, that conceptually, I mean, it might be called a cooperative bank, but it's supposed to be a bank of the cooperatives. Now, so therefore, when we look at the urban cooperative banks, while a large number of them are cooperative banks, are they really cooperative in nature is something that we need to look at and we need to worry about it. In fact, the other thing that we need to worry about is that we might lose that entire institution itself if we are not careful, essentially because the RBI, following the Gandhi Committee, has suggested that there is a graduation route for cooperative banks and they can become small finance banks. In fact, there is a licensing guideline that is that RBI has put in. I'm told that not many cooperative banks applied for small finance bank license, but how many small urban cooperative banks are actually cooperative is a question that we need to ask. And therefore, that's something that is a debate which is completely different. Going forward, I think we should focus on the cooperative structure and strengthening the cooperative structure, because that's the most people-friendly structure. In fact, that's the structure which is most near. I mean, obviously, please remember the entire cooperative movement was a product of the trade union movement after the Industrial Revolution. It was a trade union which sort of set the cooperative movement. They said within the organization, if we are able to negotiate, we'll negotiate by the employer-employee relationship. But outside the organization, for all the financial transactions that we're doing, the grocery is exploiting us, the suppliers exploiting us, and therefore that will be done through a cooperative mechanism. So in one sense, there is a very strong association between the trade union movement, historically between the trade union movement and the cooperative movement. And I think we should try and preserve that.